Gurubhyo Namah.
Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga, Shloka 1. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Anashrita karma bhalam karyam karma karodiya sasamnyasi cha yogi cha na niragnirna chakriya. Without thinking about the result of the action or the karma, he who does what he is supposed to be doing can be called a sannyasin, neither because he does not do the karma of Agnihotra, nor because he exists in a state of inaction. To realize Atman to the fullest will be happening through this chapter of Dhyana Yoga. The condition of the yogi that has been explained by Guru Bhagavan Shri Krishna throughout this chapter is that of the one who is neither completely eliminated in the material world nor completely existing in the material world. The one who, in each and every action, puts the ultimate liberation or moksha as the supreme goal and living the life can be called as a yogi in the context of Dhyana Yoga. In each and every action or karma, the result is already existing. As we said just before, here we are discussing the condition of one who sees the moksha as the supreme goal. Hence, for him, any attachments in the manner of the material world is not at all under consideration. He does the things not for any selfish deeds. He sees the same life that he has got in everything around. He does not distinguish the life that he got from the other. That duality he will not be able to experience or see. For him, he is fully aware of the responsibilities that he holds. He executes each and every action considering that good of the global or the entire life force only. He understands that any ripple one is making will affect the other too. Hence, in each and every action one does, to be cautious is what is required. Whatever be the rituals or actions one performs, if the same is done without the real understanding of the cause or reason behind its generation, without understanding the real motive of the same, if anything is done, the same will be of no use at all. That which is being done is not in the manner of supreme then. Sloka 2. Yam samnyasamidhi prahu yogam tam vidhi pandava nahya sanyasta sangalpo yogi bhavati kaschana. O Pandava, what is being said as samnyasa or renunciation, understand the same as yoga too. Why? Because the one who is not given up the willful desires will not become a yogi. Here, what is being said is a combined level which shares the highest of the values in both, a yogi which is a sannyasin or a sannyasin which is a yogi too. The combined values of both will be happening here. Here, Shrimad Bhagavad Gita puts forward a reality where the sannyasa and the yoga come in conjunction. When both come in conjunction, what exactly it means is the upliftment of the entire life force. The sense of compassion can be seen flowing towards everything, and through the same, for the helpless, the path of the Supreme is made visible. Sloka 3. Arurukshormuner yogam karma karanamuchyate yogarudhasya tasyaiva shamakaranamuchyate. For the Muni who is desiring for the supreme liberation, karma is said to be the reason. The similar one who became the yogarudha, for him shamam is said as the reason. The state of Aruruksho and yogarudha needs to be clearly understood. Aruruksho is the one who likes to stay in the stabilized manner, which brings the supreme liberation. When yogarudha is considered in happiness and sorrow, in victory and failure, in dignity and self-respect, in all those states, who can be in that situation with the same or equal approach, that one who is knowledgeable of the self can be called as Yogarudha. As we interact with the outside world, it is not easy to be in the state of Ararukshu, where one takes everything in a stabilized manner. There will be interaction of the subjects concerned with the senses as per the vasanas existing in us. Through the real understanding of these, while in the journey with Guru, as we get the true understanding of all, when we try to apply the same in each and everything that we do, at one point we will be fulfilling the state of an Ararukshu. Until we reach that stabilized manner of Ararukshu, we need to be approaching everything. Hence, it is being said that for Ararukshu, karma or action is the reason. Then, from the state of Ararukshu, one needs to convert to the state of Yogarudha. For the Yogarudha, since the interaction with the society happens there too, he will not be attached to any of those. But still, the feelings and situations of the people will be considered and will be working for solving the same to reach towards the right path. There might be chances for the Yogarudha to deviate from the path. Hence, it is required to keep the mind in the required state, and stabilization should be practiced. For that, Shamam is a reason. If Shamam is not well applied or practiced, the state of Yogarudha will undergo destruction too. Hence, that is the reason why it is being said that for Ararukshu, karma is the reason, and for Yogarudha, Shamam is the reason. Shloka 4. Yada hinendriyarteshu na karmasvanushajjate sarva sangalpa sannyasi yogarudastadochyate. When did the sannyasin who abandon all the sankalpa or the willful desires not get attached to karma and subject of senses, at that moment it can be said that he had attained the state of Yogarudha. There are 5 conditions which bring hindrance to the propulsion of the state of Yogarudha. The difficulties that will be encountered will be based on these 5 conditions of avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha and abhinivesha. When we see the ones which are not real as real and impure as pure, all that similar conditions happens due to the ignorance present within us. That is the state of avidya. When the mind goes behind the materialistic desires for attaining pleasure, the state is known to be asmita. When at one moment, if we were able to experience the pleasure, again to experience the same, the mind is dragging us towards that subject, that condition is known to be raga. If one tries to scold us towards them too, we need to do the same. That condition of the mind is the state of anger. When we are not able to get what we desire, the same will also contribute to anger. If an interest towards something is generated, if a state or condition is generated where, in any manner, one needs to experience and deal with it, that is known to be abhinivesham. To overcome all these difficulties that come in the path of Yogarudha, Shamam is the solution. The same must be practiced. From the Ararukshu, when the interaction towards the karma or action is gone, the attachment towards any of the subjects of concern of senses will not be happening at all. At that state, he will be attaining the state of Yogarudha. All these states which are explained here can only be overcome with the Guru's guidance. For each and every individual, the approach towards all these are different. Hence, in Guru, the reality exists. Shloka 5. Uddharedatmanatmanam atmanam avasadayed atmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmana. The Atman needs to be uplifted with the Atman itself. Atman should not be made worse or to be exposed to deterioration. Why? Because Atman itself is a relative as well as the enemy of it. The real us is the Atman. When the Atman is considered, until we get the real understanding of the oneness, we will be in the state of Jivatma. For Jivatma, the concern is only the individual self. The Paramatman, on the other hand, is the condition which includes all. The oneness in everything will be identified there. We are the Atman. Atman is everything. For this Atman, which is the real us, it is in our hands whether we need to realize the Atman or not. Whether or not to get the clear understanding or realization of the self, the Atman is in our hands. We can either elevate it with our thinking and actions or can do destruction to it. Hence, it is us, the Atman itself, which becomes the relative and enemy to the self. A question might be coming to our mind at this stage. If the Atman will not be undergoing destruction and it does not have any effects at all, then how can one uplift or deteriorate the Atman? There is a reality that we need to understand. Here, the same is said towards Arjuna. We, the Arjunas, do not realize ourselves until now. We are experiencing that Atman through the condition of the life existing within us. Hence, for the one who is not yet realized, for him, it is he himself who does the upliftment and destruction of the self. Arjuna by himself went into the state of dilemma, that too due to the words put forward by Guru, Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Hence, we created that state. Sloka 6. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jita anatmanastu shatrutve vartedatmaiva shatruvat. By this kind of Atman, the Atman comes victorious. Towards that Atman, Atman is the relative. To the one which fails the Atman, that Atman itself acts in the manner of the enemy. As we said just before, if we are moving in a manner which uplifts ourselves from the present state, if we are moving in the right path towards the Supreme in all ways, if any of the interactions comes towards us, we approach the same in the way of the true knowledge, such that realization of the Atman is the path that we are approaching. Then the Atman is the relative. In the other case, like what happened with Arjuna, no one told Arjuna to go to the state of dilemma. No one had done any harm to Arjuna when the dilemma happened. It is Arjuna himself who told Bhagavan to keep the chariot right at the center to see who all came against himself. It is the same Atman in Arjuna which dragged Arjuna to that state. There we can see how the Atman is becoming an enemy. Sloka 7. Jitatmana prashandasya paramatma samahita shitoshna sukha dukkeshu tatha manapamanayo. Sloka 8. Jnana vijnana triptatma kudasto vijitendriya yukta ityuchyate yogi samalostasmakanjana. The one who wins over the Atman which is enveloped in body, the one who is peaceful, the Paramatman is visible. In the state of hot and cold, in joy and sorrow, likewise in fame and dishonor, who has the stabilized intellect, since the full awareness and knowledge is existing comes satisfied, the one who is firm and the one who wins over the senses, in brick, rock and gold, who has the same view or approach, that yogi is known to be yukta. The Atman does not possess anything, neither it does not require anything, nor it will deliver anything. What we see in each and every one of us is that Atman itself. True knowledge itself is that Atman. True knowledge, if being distinguished from the Atman, a state of duality will be existing there. The one who is in this level does not get trapped in the distinctions that happen towards him. That one person will be having a stabilized intellect. In all, he sees the Atman, and hence that one already in that state of consciousness. Sloka 9. Suhran mitraryudasena madhyastadvesha bandhushu satushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate. As in the well-wishers, friends, enemies, those indifferent, those in between, the haters, relatives, and the goods, and in the sinners, the one who holds an equal stabilized intellect excels. Whatever it is, there will not be any distinction that will be generated, either in the case of friends, haters, relatives, or anything related at all. Everyone will be moving in the manner of the division. That division tends to happen when ignorance exists. When the real understanding of the Atman happens, automatically these stages and distinctions will subside. Further discussion on the same will be continued.